here on the show today. Cavaliers are on tonight. They're going to play the Jazz in Salt Lake City. Jazz are a good team this season.
Very good team.
I think they're only behind the Warriors and the Suns. There you go, of Phoenix. And so the Jazz...
They just lost to Detroit, which was a weird loss for them.
The Jazz did?
Yeah, because Detroit's garbage.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the barrel. Cavs, Jazz tonight, 9 o'clock here on MMS, so your pregame coverage will get going around 8:30 if you want to tune in for the whole thing. Didn't we send a guy to the Jazz? Jordan Clarkson, isn't he with the Jazz?
That was like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Years ago, yeah.
It's mostly the names that I recall from the Cavaliers. I don't remember when they played or where they played. Anyway, 9 o'clock tonight, Cavs, Jazz. They're going to be on the road for the week, and then they will return home to the Romo Fijo for an afternoon MLK Day game against Kyrie Irving and the Nets on Monday. We will be preempted on Monday. It'll be a 3 p.m. game at the Romo Fijo downtown. And, of course, Cavaliers are locking in with the front office. They've extended their contracts for Kobe Altman and head coach V.G. Blisterpack. They are on board with both of these guys way into the future.
And that's never backfired before.
Well, we'll see, right?
No, I think both of them have earned it.
No one can predict the future.
Right.
It's even more difficult to predict the past, because predicting the past first requires you to predict the future and then let that happen. So people go, oh, hindsight's 20/20. No. It's extraordinarily hard to predict the past. Very, very hard. So head coach...
Near impossible.
I can't even wrap my mind around that.
Sure you can. You're good at math. Head coach R.L. Stein is creepy. Is in for the next 5 seasons, I think. And Kobe Altman is in for... I think they signed him through like 2028. They're really in there with these guys.
And he got a title change, too. He went from the GM to...
Emperor?
President of Basketball Operations.
Oh.
Now, why did they do that?
More money?
Cooler. Yeah.
But I bet it's not more money. That's anytime they change a title, that means you didn't get money instead. You get a raise or whatever.
No, I think he got more money, but I think that leaves him the opportunity to hire somebody to be the GM if he wants.
Oh, I see.
Or like an assistant GM. I don't know.
I see. All right. We'll go for G Emperor next time.
It just sounds more...
President of Basketball Operations?
Yeah. More official.
I'm president of show operations.
Poso.
Here at the Alan Cox. What's that?
Is it on your business card?
Business card. Remember those?
I know, right?
Remember business cards?
Every once in a while, someone will show up.
Wow.
Like a comedian or a DJ.
A comedian with business cards?
So many comedians. They're
Really?
always the worst comics,
It's always the newest comics. Or
Not even the
newest.
newest. I feel like the least talented comics
like,
give you a business card.
Here's your card.
Memories.
Here's my card. I'm like, what? No, I don't need a card.
Now I get...
Well,
But why-
when I
but-
started, the thing to do, like if you were a new comic and so you handed someone your card, they go, oh, thanks, and then they rip it up in front of you, like other comics. So
Yeah.
they just kind of mess with you.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, obviously I'm going to stop giving people cards.
Yeah.
That seems dumb.
Maybe in their mind it's an opportunity to pay it forward so that when you go to like a Red Robin, you can just throw their card into that fishbowl for a free lunch, and then they
maybe.
get the free lunch.
Yeah, that
want
would
the
be
free
nice.
lunch.
Maybe they just don't want to make the trip to the Red Robin, and they want you to...
My favorite little wallet broke yesterday. I have this just a keychain, super small, just enough to put like my credit cards and my ID in, and I love it. So easy just to take with me. It broke, and I've had it for years, so whatever. So I'm switching out purses because the wallet matches the purses, so my new purse has to match. Everything has to match. And my old wallet that I probably haven't used in at least 2 years. I had so many business cards from people that I'm like, I have no idea who this person is, where we met, why. This is a real estate business card from Missouri. Like, what am I doing with this? Why did I even keep this? When did I think I was going to call this guy? And I have hundreds of them in drawers and whatever, because I'm like, maybe one day I'll need to call Terrence from Iowa. You never
Finding
know.
old wallets, I found a wallet that had my 21-year-old driver's license in it. Found a wallet maybe summer before last, or my ex-wife found it in an old tub of stuff. And so it was this very old, it had like a monogrammed metal stamp in it, and it was like an old...
It's always the weirdest
I know,
stuff.
but they're little time capsules into who you were then. And it was, my hair was short. I was super, super thin. And there was like a baby picture of my sister who's now 32. She'll be 32 tomorrow, 33 maybe. And you just find all this stuff in there. You go, oh my God, old business cards. But I don't understand what a comedian with a business card.
Well, pre-social media, it made sense. It had your email and your cell phone number and all that.
But we're
kind
not.
of stuff.
I'm talking now. We're not in pre-social media. We're very, very post-social media.
Now it's just something that people like to have because it makes them feel like they're doing
Official?
something. Yeah,
But
it's dumb.
But you can make them yourself. So to me, that removes the officialness of it.
I'm not going to lie. When I get a business card from a comedian, I think it makes me think less of them. When I'm like, you could have just told me, hey, man,
that
follow
seems
me on
unfair.
Instagram.
They're just trying to, really?
I feel like it's a very...
Shouldn't you judge them by their material?
Amateur move.
It's amateur. It's outdated. It's...
It's like someone handing you a VHS tape.
Well,
like,
it
Yeah,
absolutely
hey, go ahead and
seems
watch
anachronistic, but I mean...
well, and...
I'm curious what they're hoping to get out of that. Because I assume it's an actual business card, and it probably has a Twitter handle on it, which seems to be completely counterintuitive.
Usually, I feel like they don't have social media on them. It's like a bad picture.
I don't look at them, so
it's usually I wish I would
Picture
have.
on your business
It's usually a
picture.
picture of them like this.
Shut up.
What am I going to say next?
or they're holding a microphone.
Yeah,
and,
or they're holding the shoe up to their ear or something silly.
It's
you
an
know?
action. It's an action shot.
Yes.
I'm answering my shoe
Yeah. Yes.
because I stink.
It's something like that, and then it's like their phone, and it'll say like whatever, Mary Santora, comedian, writer, blogger, entrepreneur. It's got like all these words.
Extraordinaire.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so when someone, if I've
Maybe
never
get good at one of those
Oh, God,
instead of being 6 of those things.
Yeah, motivational speaker. There's always
Oh,
43
no.
things listed on it, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to email you.
So they're handing you a little hard copy of their website. Is
I wonder
what
if
Yeah.
I have any.
Wow.
Dude, if I knew this conversation was going to happen, I probably had 5 or 6 of them in my wallet yesterday.
I still have the plastic card carrier holder in my backpack to this day. I keep it just because I've had it for 25 years. So it has like business cards
gonna go
people
grab my
gave
wallet.
me in the early 90s, and my old like my IDs for radio stations I've worked at, and so keeping those things. But I have a box of business cards they gave to me when I came to WMMS, and I think it probably has 3 fewer cards than the day they handed me the box. Because 12 years ago, people were still exchanging business cards, so it made sense. But I was like, oh my God. And then by the time they changed the name of this company from Clear Channel to iHeartMedia, then everybody got new business cards. But at that point, I was like, what are we going to do with these? Like, we were kind of phasing out of the business card portion of, couldn't tell you the last time I saw anybody. Now, again, I don't really
Then you'll see people trying
confer
to do
with people who have business cards, I guess. But
like a new version of a business card where you can tap your phone to it and like it'll get all your social
QR code.
Yeah, it's like just tell me what it is. Like if I want to look it up and follow you out, I will do it.
Yeah.
But it's not that much like it's the same amount of steps whether you tell me what your social media handle is or you make me open an app on my phone and scan something and then go like it's actually more steps.
I don't have any. You know what I did have though in that wallet was the emergency response cards they gave us at the beginning of COVID when they were like, "If you get caught driving, make sure you have your right." I've never been asked to see that once.
Not once, and no one.
Well,
no
it's
officer
also
would ask
completely
for it.
not official at all. That was just something that they're like, we're gonna make you this just because it seems like, hey, in
Print
case.
this
Like
out.
they should.
Nobody knew what anything was at the
Yeah.
very beginning, so they basically printed them off on a color printer, laminated them, and were like, hey, if anything happens.
It's an old headshot from my website where I have like that bright red hair and I'm all fat and I'm like, this is the picture you guys found on my Facebook that you decided to use.
Now people
Like,
just use their link tree, and they got everything in there.
Linktree's so nice.
Linktree, yeah. it's
I always love it because it's always like Etsy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then it's
at
like
the bottom.
right. It's always like a zucchini or it's just like a peach, and I'm just like, I know what that is.
My only thing.
I'm like, why didn't you put that one first? That's the one where you make most of your money. No one cares about your Etsy page. No
They
one cares
want
about your
zucchini
Pinterest.
They
or a
want a
peach.
scene.
Honestly, that's what it is.
Legit.
like a Renaissance person. They're
I
doing
was-
all kinds. Because, listen, in all honesty, some people, if they don't have a primary thing, you got to cobble together a living. I understand.
Right,
So-
but if the OnlyFans is the main
That's
thing
what I'm
that
saying.
you're trying
Put that
to sell,
up there first.
put that up top.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
going. That's what I'm looking for.
It's your primary revenue stream. Maybe they also
Scroll all the way down.
Maybe they also want to get a good buzz going on their tissue cozies
On their Etsy.
that they make on Etsy. Yes.
Yeah, you never know.
Monogrammed Kleenex box holders.
I just want you to own it. I don't want you to be ashamed. I don't want to have to scroll down to find the goods. Like, I know it's there and I was right. So put it at the top.
That's one of those
That's
things
all.
where people are like, oh, I tried OnlyFans, I didn't make any money. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't advertise.
You didn't advertise it.
And advertising, like, if you're gonna be successful on OnlyFans, you have to be shameless.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be like, everybody that I know is
You
gonna
don't have to be shameless.
You have to flood the zone.
You have to.
That's not true.
You
Your
gotta put it
first
out
customers
there.
are going to be the people that are in your life that want to see you naked.
Yes,
That's-
your followers.
Yeah.
If you're
at
doing
least.
OnlyFans, I assume you're not trying to curate an audience. You're trying to fire a shotgun and get anybody who can possibly come and find your thing.
I
And
know someone who does OnlyFans, and they do not.
he knows so many people who do OnlyFans.
I have a
It's
lot
the
of
same guy.
Everybody who he
friends.
knows those OnlyFans. Yeah.
He does not want his family or friends to know. He told me because I
But
want.
how
no.
much is he making? Is he doing?
I'll tell you what he did. There is a setting on there as a content creator where you can put it by region, so no one in this region can find him.
Yeah, he geofences his OnlyFans
and
account.
so
yeah,
he-
but how does anybody else find it?
But also, no one wants their family to find out,
No.
but you're still trying to make money.
Yeah.
I don't want my family to know I do this for a living. You know how hard it's been to keep this a secret for 30 years?
Your parents think you're a proctologist.
They think that I sell something else.
I think he started out by making a fan base on Twitter, and then he made his Twitter private, and then just let.
Well, he must have got in early too, because
I don't know.
I mean,
I was on the early days of Twatter, and I couldn't find anybody who would come over and see my pictures.
Really?
I got to give away some money here. It's $1,000, a chance for you to go fund yourself, right? Forget OnlyFans. You can fund yourself right now, and you can keep all your clothes on. Or not. What do I care? Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BANK at WMMS.com. That's BANK. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Other people's business cards are good to keep on hand, so if you hit a car, you can leave under the wiper with the word sorry written on the back. That's pretty good. Yeah, hang on. I guess if you're a really bad driver, hang on to other people's business cards.
Bad driver and worst person would do that.
Yeah, sure. That's battle conditions.
I was talking with a buddy of mine today who he's a foot fetish guy. And since we're talking about OnlyFans or whatever, I text him and I know he's like heavy in that community. And I was like, hey, what do people normally charge for like a foot pic? And he was like,
wait. He's a foot fetishist, or he posts photos of feet? He's really into feet?
He's into feet.
Okay, so he knows
the ins and outs
he
of
goes to
right.
the foot sites.
Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
he knows how much it costs. That's
he
why
knows
I hit him
all
up.
the little piggies.
Right. He knows which pig he went to market.
He's a consumer, not the producer.
Well, he has helped produce before.
Yeah.
So I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm thinking this might be the year of the Mary Santora foot pick. What should I price it? Like, what's average? So he and I are having a conversation. And he said normally it's like $10 to $20 per picture. But you can send videos of your feet that pay more, where you can do like $50 to $100 per video. And then he said the real money is in foot sessions, which I didn't know this was a thing, where you can have guys come over or meet you at a place or whatever for like an hour at a time. And they pay like $500 for an hour to
Well, of course,
have
that's where
your
the money is.
feet.
You have to look at them in person and have them touch your feet.
Well, that's what I asked. I was like, is it like people can come and touch my feet? He goes, well, that depends on what you set your boundaries at, like a menu kind of. Where you're like,
Yeah.
it can be touching only. It can be they take their own pictures. He's like, you can go up to like foot stuff where you like make a
Sure,
put
yeah,
your feet
Are
together.
you gonna do some foot jobs?
Well, and I was like, well, I definitely don't want to do that. And he's like, well, you know, you have a little bit of local celebrity. You could be charging thousands of dollars. I was like, I don't want people touching my feet.
Unless I'm getting a
You
pedicure.
don't be pogo sticking on dudes' feet.
No.
Unless they're buffing and polishing my nails.
But I had no idea that was like a part of it. I guess-
Everything is a thing.
That's why I texted him, because I knew he would know. And I was like, man, that's
What's
like
the most
insane.
he ever spent on a foot interaction?
I
Can you
didn't
say?
ask that, but he said that he had helped people make videos before, where he had been the member for the foot videos that people would use.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So he's not just doing lighting and key light and
no,
fill
because
light.
he's into feet,
Yeah,
so he
really
had-
wanted to be into their feet.
And he's like, hey, you need a guy. I like feet. Let's both make some money.
All
You know?
right, I'll
Right.
do it. Yeah, he's really giving of himself.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
I was texting with him, and he said $10 to $20 a picture is usually what's going rate. And I was like, does that seem low? That seems low,
But
right?
it's just a picture, though. Like that's, and then
If you get 100
you got-
people,
you
that's
gotta
a
get
lot of money.
of people
Cast a
to
wider net.
give you $10 to $20 per foot picture.
I guess it's the same. Because I was like, oh, okay. Because I put it on my Instagram, I was like $1,000. I don't want to do it. And I was like 500. So I'm like, all right, if I do 100 and I get 10 people, that's $1,000.
I think it's also garnering an audience and then slowly ratcheting up the rates. And then you'll have some attrition, but the diehards will be the ones that'll be like, I'm still here.
But
20 to 50, yes, please.
I feel like once you lower the rate, you can't raise it. If people come in for $10, they're going to be pissed if I
Right.
raise it to 50.
Well, no. You don't lower it. You start it, and then you go 11, 12.
No, you
No, no,
can't
no,
do that.
I don't think you can do
have
that.
To keep,
Oh, really?
You have to keep a flat
You can
rate for
only
that.
go down.
But you have to offer those other things,
Oh,
the
extras,
videos
as
and
extras.
things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about a subscription fee.
No, I was talking about, like, if I say, hey, email marysfeet@gmail.com or something, and then I was like, I will just send you a picture after you Venmo me money. That was as
But you can set that at whatever you want.
that's what I'm saying. But if you're talking about people who are repeat customers,
You got
I
a good
can't.
pick of your feet? Let's do this today.
I see.
No, I'm getting a pedicure on Monday.
Okay,
That's
Monday.
why I thought about it. I was like, I'm getting a
You'll
pedicure
have a
before I
little-
go to
little
LA.
walking around money in LA. Yeah.
That's 100% what it is. I was like, dude, this city's so
All of a sudden,
expensive.
Mary's flying first class home.
Right.
She's like, guys, these toes paid for this
You
lunch.
see this?
Yep.
Yeah. Avocado toast, baby.
These piggies, avocado toast.
But yeah, so that's
Avocado
what I was
toast.
thinking about, because I'm like, I have avocado toast. I have several trips this year lined up that are extended, where I'll be gone for like a week or 10 days at a time. And you have shows, but they're not paying for your whole trip. So I was like, I got to find a way to make some extra money. And so I was thinking about that. But
You've really come along, haven't you? You've come
I'm
from,
trying.
I will never do that.
absolutely not.
Of course, which is silly to say because,
Right.
life changes and you've got options.
Eventually,
you know
we're
who's
all
into
sex workers.
You know who's into feet? Uh-oh. He's said it right here. He sat across from here and told us.
Cody Brown.
Our buddy Fitzdog.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Greg Fitzsimmons is
Fitzsimmons is
way
into
into
it.
feet.
He's got money, right?
He's got some money.
Maybe. Here's what I'll do. I'll email him and I'll say, listen, man, setting up this feet thing. He and I worked together like 5 years ago. I doubt he would remember me.
Might
But
remember your feet.
I'd be like, I am an established comic. I can absolutely open for you. You pay me to take you on tour.
He's gonna think you're trying to Me Too him.
I'll be like, you can look at my feet as much as you want, but you have to pay me $2,000 a show. You think I'll do it?
Sure. Listen, hey,
Nah,
go crazy, right? Al and I sell feet picks for $25 a pop, 5 for $100, and they can pick the toenail color.
But then you're changing your toenail colors all the time, and
So what?
I hate painting my own toes, which is why I get
you hate it
pedicures.
for 25 bucks a
It's
pop?
Part of the gig.
But I'm not going to do it on my own because I'm not very good at it. When I paint my own toenails, it looks like a child did it, which is why I go get pedicures.
Yeah,
my
but maybe
lady's going to
but-
be like, "You're in here twice a day, Mare. What are you doing?"
But you're a grown woman that doesn't know how to paint your toenails. I can paint my toenails and they look
But it doesn't
good.
look as good as a pedicure.
But it would be good enough for somebody
Yeah, if
purchasing
they're-
a foot picture.
if they're
is
just
what I'm
trying to
saying.
get,
I'm trying to give out quality content here.
They're not a
understand that. You'll get
salon
better. You take-
critic.
yeah.
They want to see your feet.
They want to see the colors. They want to see and I think it's mostly so that they can tell that they're not getting the same set of pictures every time. They
Oh,
want to
too.
see some
Yep.
effort.
That probably makes
They want to
sense.
see some effort from you.
I put in effort.
Didn't say you
And I
are.
travel all over the country. You want these little piggies by a mountain? You just wait till I go to Denver. You want them in a stream? Portland. Is Portland
In a
a
stream.
Portland's the only place with streams.
I'm just saying. I think this might be the year. I've been doing my research. My buddy gave me some insight. Until I get real hard up for money, foot sessions are off the table. We're not doing that. But there might be a new little foot emoji in my link tree. Pay attention.
The point is, there's
Put
a
it
lot
at
of
the top.
options. You've got a lot of options.
Yeah, put it at the top.
Put it at the top.
Or should I hand out business cards with my feet on them?
Nah, I don't think you should hand them out. I think you should foot them out.
Yep.
Oh, put them in between my toes
Yeah.
and hand them like that.
Like American Psycho, where they're all comparing business cards.
Yeah.
You know? What is that? Bone? Justin Theroux.
New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
Good printers.
Lauren.
That's bone. And the lettering is something called Cillian Rail.
Cillian Rail on Bone.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I feel like it's time for a revisit.
I had to Google
I like
that
American
movie.
Psycho. I read the book way before the movie came out. I remember reading that in the early 90s, and it's just a brutal book. I was like, how the hell are they going to make this into a movie? And they did. That movie's not as good as people think they remember it is, but it's still a good movie. It's a fun movie.
It's a lot cheesier than you remember.
It's taken on this grand pop culture kind of thing, but it's not an
it's
amazing
very
movie.
memeable. It's a very memeable movie.
Right.
So like, there's a lot of movies that have moments like that where they go, okay, well, this is just such a significant scene in a pretty okay movie, like you said. But that scene is very memorable.
Alan, my toes are still usually wet when I take the pictures. $100 is $100. Other people suggesting you could Photoshop the colors of your toes, but I think that would probably look photoshopped. Yeah.
I mean, if you can
Unless
get
you're
a
much better
Photoshop.
photoshopping than you are painting your toenails.
It's not that I'm bad at it. I'm just not as good. I get pedicures for a reason. I don't
understand.
want the hassle of doing my own toes.
I understand. Same reason I get them.
Yeah, my sisters, I asked my one sister, I had to touch something up. I said, hey, do you have any white nail polish? Can you bring it over? She goes, you don't have any nail polish here? I was like, no, I pay someone to do this for me so I don't have to mess with wet nail polish around my house. Or spilling it. I'm too clumsy. I'll knock it over and there's a big purple spot on my rug. We don't need that.
No, that's no good. You've got a cat walking around, knocking them over. See, I've got a 6-year-old in my house who wants to paint nails all the time. So we always have to have an array of toenail polish.
Yeah.
Anyway, take bulk pics in different colors for future sales, this person says. They've got it all figured out.
Tell them to hit me up on Instagram. Hey,
Mary's
whoever you
feet
are.
at gmail.com. Whoever. I got a break. 35192 to text for anything. You can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.